All planets, moons, suns and stars float in the midst of an energy field that we shall call the Force. These fields are like a vortex spiraling inwards. The same principles apply to all heavenly bodies, with differences for size, shape, density and relative motion. The outer extremity of the Earth's vortex energy field is somewhat beyond the Moon. The Force is globular in shape, corresponding to the form of the Earth. The shape of a force is not all closed at the ends, some are open at both ends. The Force turns the Earth on its axis with its own axial motion. Consequently, the outer part of the Force has a greater velocity than near the Earth's surface, which has an axial motion of 1,000 miles an hour. The Moon has a force surrounding it also, but it has a rotation axially once a month. But being an open force does not turn the Moon. All forces do not lie in contact with the planet, in which case it's called a dead planet. The Moon's force vortex is 10 times the Moon's diameter and the Earth's 30 times the Earth's diameter, with some variations which will be explained hereafter. The outer rim, 42,000 miles broad of the Earth's vortex, has a revolution axially with the Earth once a month. The swiftest part of the Earth's force is therefore about 15,000 miles on the side of the orbit of the Moon. From the swiftest part of the Earth's vortex, its force is towards the Earth's centre, and if there were no Earth here at present, the force would make one presently. Things do not fall to the Earth because of the gravity or magnetism there, but they are driven towards the centre by the force and by the power of the force. The greater diameter of the force is east and west, the lesser diameter north and south, with an inclination and oscillation relatively like the Earth. The name of the driving power of the force is called power, that is, positive force, because it is arbitrary and exerts east and west. As in the case of a wheel turning on its axis, its force will be at right angles with its axis, the extreme centre of which there will be no force. For which reason the north and south line of the Earth's force is called neg power, or negative force, for it is the subject of the other. For example, a whirlwind gathers up straw and dust which travels towards the centre of the whirlwind, and to the places thereof. Even so do physical substances incline to approach the poles of the Earth's force. In the early times, the Earth was longer north and south than east and west, but the neg power being less than the positive power, the Earth assumed the globular form, which was afterward attenuated east and west, then again turned to adapt itself to the polarity north and south. In these various turnings of the Earth, the same energy of the force exerted ever to the east and west, by which behaviour every portion of the Earth has been to the east, to the west, to the north and to the south, which can be shown by archaeology. Proof is in the rocks and boulders and mountains of the Earth. Wherefore it is shown there is no north and south polar power in the Earth as such. Furthermore, the Iron Mountains show they attract east and west and north and south without any regard to a central polar force in the Earth. The positive force of the force is from the extended external toward the internal, and the negative force is towards the poles through the centre, and in the ascent towards the pole external from the sun centre. Therefore, it may be said of the force it is towards its own centre, but turns at the centre and escapes outwards at the north and south pole. As one may draw a line from the east to the centre of the Earth, and then in a right angle due north, which would be the current of the force until the centre were filled with a physical body, after which the same power applies and is all one power, although for convenience we call it positive and negative.